Welcome guys to my new Sofrito garden. Today I'm going to show you how to keep your culantro plants from dying by making sure that you prevent them from going to seed. Now these are the seeds right here of culantro plants. Now culantro in Puerto Rico, it's known as Recao, and it is also known as a longleaf coriander. Now this is what a Recao plant looks like, or culantro. And it has this very long leaf. It's very aromatic, and it's used for sofritos and or recaito. And it definitely gives the food a great flavor. My wife definitely uses this plant for her recipes. Now, all of these plants are growing seeds. They're gonna go to seed. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna cut them back, cut all these seed stems back, as you can see here. Cut them as low as you can, and all you're gonna be left with are the leaves. And this is a problem. If you let these plants go to seed, once the seeds turn brown, the leaves will stop growing, and that's what we want to prevent. We want to prevent the plant from going to seed so it produces more and more leaves throughout the summer. Now for these plants, you see all these shoots? I've cut them twice before, but they just keep coming back. So you have to keep cutting them over and over again. Now I'm gonna leave one plant to go to seed, and it's this one right there. And you notice the seed pods right there. Once that turns brown, there he goes right there. Once they turn brown, you can use them to plant your next seedlings sometime next year. But then that particular plant, the leaves will stop growing and everything will turn brown and die back. So I'm gonna leave one plant go to seed. Everything else, I'm gonna cut them back. So I'm gonna put a pair of gloves on because these have a very pointy end, all of these. So you can just throw these away. I have about, I don't know, maybe 80 seed pods that I have to cut back. I guess they call them, yeah, seed pods, I guess. But when you're done, you want to leave the plant looking like this, what I'm about to show you. There we go, guys. This is what the plant should look like at all times. So these seed stalks, you want to, I guess you can yank them with your hands, but I use a pair of scissors. But this is what it should look like, and this plant will provide more and more leaves throughout the summer. I have more than I can use. I have tons of them because we have a plan on making a lot of sofrito jars this summer and share them with family and friends. This is overkill. All you really need is maybe 2-3 plants. But I have, like, I don't know, I'm gonna guess about 25 of them. So I'm gonna cut these stalks back as far as I can. Like I said, I've already done it twice before. So you should cut them back as soon as you see them. I let them grow for a little bit, and that's because I wasn't feeling well last week. But now I'm coming out here every day and making sure that everything's okay. You see this? That's what it should look like. And again, the Recao, you can make the best sofrito in the world, especially recaito. There is no better tasting plant for your sofrito than this particular plant. This is the best in my opinion. Now, for those of you that make recaito, I hear that recaito has no tomatoes in it. But sofrito does. Now recaito obviously has the culantro or recao and no tomatoes. But the sofrito has, they can use other slightly different ingredients, but they also add tomatoes. Now I'm not a cook, I'm not a chef. I really don't know. I've never made sofrito before. My wife has. But for those of you that are listening now, and if you ever made sofrito or recaito, write it down on the comments and let us know what the differences are. And yes, don't forget to add what are the ingredients that you use for your sofrito or recaito. This garden is looking great. And you see these leaves here by the seeds? You can use them too, by the way. You can take them out and use them in your sofrito. There we go, guys. All the seed pots have been taken out except for that one plant in the back. I'm leaving that one and one on this other bed. So check it out. This is how your Recao plants or Culantro should look like. And let me tell you, I've been lucky this year. I don't have to water anything. Since I planted all of this back in May 23rd, 2 days after the last frost. And I watered the first day when I planted everything. And then for the next 2 weeks, I watered twice. And I'm lucky enough that up here in upstate New York, it rains out like every second or third day of the week. Obviously, I don't have to water anything, but that is rare. When I used to live in South Jersey, I do remember that I used to water at least every second or third day. Here, not so much. Temperatures really don't go up into the 90s. Like today, the highest we got today is what, 79 degrees. Tomorrow we're gonna go up to a whopping 85, and I think today is July 27th or 28th. So again, if you live like in a dry area like Colorado or Arizona, you may have to water at least every day, if not every other day. So just keep that in mind. But like I said earlier, here I am super lucky. Everything is turning very green, and yeah, it's growing like a forest. And guys, I only have one problem here. I have a red ant problem. Let me show you. There it is. That's my red ant problem. Cute, huh? Now this Culantro or Recao should be alive at least till mid-October when the temperatures take a dive. All of these plants should still be here. And I should be harvesting Recao. I can do it every day for the next couple of months. All right, guys, since we're here, we're gonna give you a tour too. Now, these are the small sweet peppers, the seeds that I got from Puerto Rico. I got them at the same time I got the Culantro or Recao. Now, these peppers, these plants are pretty tall. They're taller than I remember in front of my father's house. And they've already started producing. Here they are. Look at this beautiful pepper. So with this pepper, we're gonna make recaito and sofrito. This is a classic. No Puerto Rican sofritos ever made without these types of peppers. And yeah, they kind of started producing late, even though it's late July. And the reason is, again, because I couldn't plant anything outside until May the 23rd. Here's another one. I think I have about 35, 40 plants. I planted them kind of close here, and yeah, they grew bigger than expected, which is a good problem to have, by the way. This is cilantrillo, and yeah, it kind of like went to seed. I let it go. Like I said, I was under the weather last week, and this is where I harvested my garlic. And more cilantrillo over here, and more peppers, more sweet peppers from the island. All of these, and they're either flowering or have small peppers. And believe it or not, I have gandules, pigeon peas, and I planted 2 seeds indoors back in, I believe it was mid-March, and these are starting to flower. You see that? So it looks like I'm definitely gonna have some gandules. And I only have 2 plants, but I only did a couple as a test. So if I am able to get gandules from these 2 plants this year, I'm definitely gonna plant a lot more. So we have cucumbers, and we have squash over here in the middle, and another cucumber plant here at the end. We also have peppers here. I think these are limo peppers from Peru. I brought these seeds from Peru a couple of years ago. I have 2 plants, And yep, these are the limos. And here in the back, we have Scotch bonnet. I have 2 Scotch bonnet plants. They're super hot. But here, these 2 smaller plants, they are dragon's breath. And these are considered the hottest pepper in the world. Now, these used to be the hottest peppers in the world, the Carolina Reapers, and I have 2 of these plants. But these newer ones, the dragon's breath, surpassed the Carolina Reapers. And here we have Criolla de Cocina, a Cuban sweet bell pepper. I have 4 plants here. And I have to mention one thing, marigolds. I've had great luck with orange marigolds, not so much with the yellow ones. This is what happens to the yellow marigold plants. They die off for some reason if you don't take good care of them. But all my orange marigolds, they're still alive. You see, these are all the yellow ones. So next year, I'm not gonna buy the yellow ones. I'm gonna buy the orange ones. I don't know what the difference is other than the color, but yeah, for some odd reason, they're different. All right, guys, and this is my butternut squash. I don't know if you can see one there. There's one here, but a groundhog ate it the other day. And if you come over to the back, you'll see a butternut squash there, 2 more hanging low. And I believe there's another one back there. And I also have obviously cucumbers. We have one big one over there that I need to pull out today. Now, a couple of days ago, I did a harvest of cucumbers and I got maybe about 10 or 11 of them. And I had to give them away because there was too many for my family. Okay, what do we have here in the back? We have sweet bell peppers, King Arthur's. I've had nothing but great luck with the King Arthur's up here in upstate New York. And some of them are getting pretty big already. Here we have like 2 jalapeno plants. I got lots of them. I don't eat hot stuff, but I'll probably end up giving these away too. And here we have, what are these? The sun sugar cherry tomatoes. And these are awesome. They rarely ever make it inside because I eat them out here. This is my wife's herb garden. Everything's growing really good back here. Elephant ears, the smaller ones. Back here we have acorn squash. You got quite a few of them. There's some more acorn squash right there. And more sweet bell peppers, the King Arthur's. All of these are King Arthur's. I got quite a few of them going on. Here we have Italian parsley. The groundhog last week ate most of them, or most of it. It also ate some of the leaves from our acorn squash. And basil. This is my favorite here. We've harvested this 3 times. We just keep cutting them back, and my wife does pesto with it, and this smells wonderful. This is probably my favorite harvest. I love coming out here and cutting it for her. Okay, this is the other side. This is I have lots and lots of elephant ears, and I forgot to tell you that we also have mint, peppermint. Just keep in mind that if you ever plant mint, to put it in a container, because this spreads every year. Now come November, all of this will die off. However, the roots remain alive underground and it'll pop back up come May, and it'll spread all over your garden if you don't contain it in some type of container. So here we have more acorn squashes. They're looking beautiful. And the groundhog the other day took a bite out of that cucumber. I left it there for him in case he does somehow get back inside. And here's one of yeah, this is huge. It's probably a little bit too, I don't know, kind of yellow. It's probably getting ripe, but I'm gonna take it inside and we're gonna do something with it. My wife has been adding cucumbers every day to my smoothies. Okay, so next to my recao and peppers, small bell peppers, or they call them ají dulce in Puerto Rico. That's what they call them. I had to remember. Ají dulce. They're perfect for sofritos and recaitos. All right, here we have potatoes. I planted these 5 bags with potatoes. Now, they're not ready to be harvested because if you want small baby potatoes, 2 weeks after the plant flowers, you can pull them up, but they're small. Now, in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 2 to 3 weeks after the foliage dies back. Once the plant dies back, like it did yesterday or the day before yesterday, now if I wait 2 weeks, I can dig out the potatoes and they'll be a full size. So, but that's another video. I know it looks like it's dying, but it isn't. That's just the plant. Deep inside the ground, the potatoes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they'll be ready in about 2 weeks. All right, I have kale. We've harvested tons and tons of kale over the last month and a half or so, and lately something is making holes through all the leaves. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of these leaves back and let the new plant grow, and this I'm going to feed to the chickens. Here we have Swiss chard. It went to seed, but I'm going to cut it back too, and hopefully within the next few weeks it'll grow right back up. Here we have Roma tomatoes. I have 6 plants of Roma tomatoes, and I have lots of them. My wife loves these things. And we also have 6 plants of San Marzanos. They're small, and that's what they look like, similar to Roma, and there's plenty of them here. Also, we have the celebrity tomatoes on this bed, and we have tons and tons of plants, and they're getting really nice and big. And like I said, I haven't watered anything because it rains quite frequently here. Now, I think to keep in mind is that about 10-12 years ago, when I planted tomatoes, I tended to add water like every day or every other day. I don't recommend that, and the reason is because if you add too much water to the plant, they just keep growing. You'll get a lot of foliage, but no tomatoes. So what I do here is I only water once a week if it doesn't rain. But because it's been raining 2 or 3 times a week here in upstate New York, I haven't had to water. However, if it stops raining for whatever reason, then once a week, maybe twice a week, I'll water it and make sure that the water penetrates deep into the roots once or twice a week, and that'll be it. But in my case, I don't think I'll ever have to do that. So here's my new sign. Officially, this is now the Sofrito garden. Yeah, as you know, I built this deer fence to prevent deer from coming into this garden, because last year they were eating just about everything, but this year not a single deer has been able to get in. Rabbits, same thing. Rabbits can't get in anymore. However, the groundhog did get in once, maybe twice, and it ate a bunch of my plants and leaves, but it's been 6 days since then, and the groundhog has not been able to get in. Now, obviously, I have protection now. I have the pirate ship. I have the red ant. I don't think anything can get in now. So what do you think, guys? What do you think about the garden? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what it is that you're planting this year, and or what are you harvesting now. Now, for the bed that's empty, where I harvested my garlic, what I'm gonna do is I'm planning on planting beets. I may do beets. If not, I'll probably do cabbage, red cabbage. The only problem with the cabbage is that the groundhog loves red cabbage, and he ate all of my cabbage last year. So we'll see. Well, if he's able to get back in here somehow, then I'm not gonna plant that. I'm gonna plant something else. But that's the plan right now anyway. So yeah, this video was short and sweet. I just want to mention that the chickens the chicks, the baby chicks, the silky baby chicks, they're doing fine. I'm gonna show you a couple of pictures. All of them are doing well. I have six of a few different colors, and compared to the big one, to the big silky chicken, the 3 that were born almost 3 months ago, look at the size difference. One is a giant compared to the baby one, and those pictures were taken today. All right guys, so again, if you have culantro and if you're gonna cut back the seed pods, make sure you wear gloves. Don't let it go to seed, because if not, after a few weeks, everything will turn brown, the seeds will turn brown, and so will the entire plant. So as long as you cut those seed pods away, your plant will keep growing and producing more and more leaves. So with that guys, you have a good morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are. We'll see you mañana. Bye.